There we go. All right. I think everything's good. Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of B.A.D.D Business. I am your host, SHYNEN SAFFRON. Thank you for joining me. Give some people a couple of seconds to come on in. I think the audio is good. My magnificent engineer just told me that everything was good. So hopefully I see y'all checking in. I know my folks want to check in. I got some good things to say. So really want y'all to check in. Tap in, click in, call in. Like I said, you can DM me if you want the number to call in. Tap into the show. Let's see. Come in, y'all. Get in. What's up, Jazzy? Thanks for checking in. Got some good things to talk about. Bringing some bad to business. As again, I am your host, SHYNEN SAFFRON, and if you've been tuning in, following me, you know that B.A.D.D to Business is bringing all diverse discussions to business. Always about just trying to bring diverse discussions to a business table, or really a common ground. Just trying to find some way to have some unity or even make a profit while we're doing it, right? So there will always be shows, whether there's about a particular subject, being that it's somebody who talked to me about something and they want to see a show and see how the discussion is brought about, or something that has just come to mind for myself. Again, you can always tap in, call in, let me know if there's something that you want to discuss. I'll bring that to the business table as well. So, but here at B.A.D.D to Business, we always want to just find a common ground. It's never about conflict, always about common ground. So come on, y'all, tap in. I want to see y'all this evening. Happy Sunday. I hope it's been a relaxful Sunday. You know, football season is back in, so your girl is back with LA. Okay? Don't hate on me. Don't hate the players. Hate the game. I picked the team. That's where I'm from. Come on in. B.A.D.D to Business. I got some stuff for y'all today. Like I said, just gearing for a fabulous week. I'm looking forward to a fabulous week. Today is Sunday, and it was pretty relaxing for the most part. And I am grateful to have made it this far with all the things going on in the world and in my own individual life as well. I'm sure as everybody's going through whatever they're going through, get through it. But it's been a busy week at the least, I should say. So I'm just glad that I am here. Thank y'all for joining me. Hello. What's up, y'all? Hey. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this rolling. Like I said, welcome to B.A.D.D to Business. I am your host, SHYNEN SAFFRON. And today I am just going to bring some diverse conversation to the table. Some different things have occurred this week and different things I've experienced, and I just want to kind of share it with you guys. So sit down and enjoy the ride if you don't mind. And let's get down to business. So my first topic of conversation is I went to an arts festival this past weekend. I took my daughters to an arts festival, and it was amazing. It really was. There were so many different things going on, different artists displaying different things. I got to see, just different types of art. My daughters got to see different types of art, and they're artists themselves, and they're upcoming. One of my daughters wants to go to a specific art school of her choice, and she's doing things geared towards that, so I'm very proud of her for that. And so I felt like letting them see how far it could take you, and different styles of art and stuff would be good for them to experience. So we did that. It was very nice, very wonderful. But the different types of art were really cool too. We got to see like textured art and sculptures and custom art. Just the way that they structure things, the creative minds that were there, and the way that they do things, just it's fantastic. Anytime you get a chance to go to an arts festival or any type of museum, just don't skip out on the chance, or at least don't let your kids skip out on that. But it was wonderful. I got to experience something called fresh paint. art, and there was an artist there who basically was doing art right then and there. And I thought that was very kind of unique and significant at the same time, because she was showing that she was the actual artist. So unlike some of the artists there who were just there selling their art and selling their paintings, she was actually selling hers, but showing that she was the artist that created it by recreating it right before your own eyes. So it was kind of like fresh paint. So there was a couple of them that she had just done that morning that you could just purchase right there. We didn't get there early enough to kind of see that, but some of them we arrived right afterwards, where that's where the expression fresh paint came from. She was like, it's still wet. You can purchase it if you want to, but it's still wet. And what I liked about her art, this particular artist, and I will be displaying some of the art and stuff and the websites and ways you can connect with these artists, because I was able to obtain some information on them, because it was just it's something that was needed to be shared and experienced. But she had kind of like a Bob Ross kind of technique. And like I said, I wish I was there to have seen her actually do the work, because he was an artist to see, right? If y'all remember Bob Ross, all those who do, you know what era you were in. My mom was an artist herself, and she liked his technique of how he did lakes, trees, and stuff like that. And she was a fan. She actually gave homage to him. There was a picture of him up there, I assume as inspiration. But it was nice. So that was kind of cool. And I just, like I said, enjoyed seeing all different types of art. Another thing I liked seeing down there, this was in, like I said, Atlanta, in the Piedmont area. I like to see the community support down there. A lot of times, different parts and different areas of cities get bad reps. Piedmont area is one of them, this particular side, and I know they're cleaning up stuff in Atlanta, but just to see the support where they do the road closures, they do the they do the it's just like drama free. You know, what I noticed is everybody was on the same accord. You do have your normal people who skate there and walk there, do their jogs and walk their dogs, just regular community stuff, but they weren't offended by other people visiting, tourists, whatever the case may be. The artist setting up there, you could just tell it was just a normal vibe. And I really liked the fact that nobody felt offended. Nobody was doing anything weird. You know, everybody was out having a good time. It was hot weather, very, very hot, but still no bad attitudes. So I really liked that. And being able to take my daughters out to see that was really cool too. Let's see. And one of the things I got to experience while I was there was the psychiatry exhibit. This thing was pretty powerful. Let me show y'all something. This thing here. There was an exhibit that discussed the different treatments of psychiatry, not to be confused with therapy, which I want to make clear to myself again, as well as anybody listening, that psychiatry has a way of treating their patients. Okay. And there was a lot of information that I didn't know. There's a lot of information that I was able to soak in. And I want to share it with you all. I'm not going to be able to share it all in my segment here, but I will give you information to follow up on. It just kind of exposes the dangers of the medicine industry, if you will. It dives a little bit deeper into the more than a theory that there's money in the medicine, more than there is in a cure. The crazy part about it is the medicines that are used to actually treat what is supposedly, I guess, in some cases uncurable. So I won't get into too much. I'll let y'all follow into that if you want to. I don't want any entities, anybody to be offended by the things I say. I don't want any algorithms to feel offended by the things I say or the research I've even written. I mean, I've stumbled upon or was, allowed to even experience. But it's pretty powerful. A lot of things were kind of shown in shed some light on some things that even are happening today. This stuff has been going on for years and years and years, and before any of us even knew what certain pills do and what they were prescribed for. It was significant for me to learn that there is a pill out there, and some of y'all may know about it. It was news to me, news I can use too, that there is a pill right now on the market that is equivalent to an lobotomy, and which is kind of crazy to me that there's a pill that, and I mean, for whatever reason, I haven't done as much research. Some of y'all may know it. Like I said, click in, tap in, let me know, give me a different perspective, a different point of view, that there's a medicine on the line or on the market that just leaves you in a vegetated state. Why would you need to take that? But like I said, it kind of shed some light on that. There are a couple of movies and shows that I've seen that reminded me of some of the information that it gave and shed light on. Some of y'all may know this. Again, I'm not telling really my age, but I am telling my research, and so hopefully you know some of these things. But one of the movies is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson, where it kind of shows the things he went through in the psychiatric ward. And one of the things that I drew from that is that it shows the dehumanitizing, excuse me, of how the institutions kind of try to get you to go from individualism to conformalism. They try to get you to lose yourself, in other words. And you go from, one thing I picked up when I was reading about it is you go from sanity to insanity. That's the opposite of what you're going there for, right? So just kind of looking at that and looking at the different information that this exhibit provided, it really kind of shows you how backwards some of the medicine industry is. We all know it. We all talk about it. Some of us rebel against it. Some of us can't help it. But it is interesting to know a lot of information. So it's always good to open up your knowledge. I was talking to one of the workers there, and I also brought up one of the pictures depicts, I don't know if any of you follow, but I was watching a series called Bridgerton, and it depicts the spinoff from that of Queen Charlotte and the young Prince George, or King George, I'm sorry, the young King George, where he was going through a mental state, a mental period of depression. They didn't know what to do for him. You know, doctors were still trying to figure out what to do for people like that. And it said that it reflected the primitive and often cruel medical practices of the 18th century. That's how that's really described. So, you know, really, we watch things as entertainment, if you will, but it's really deeper than that. You know, there were things done to people that made them crazier than when they came, right? And it's still going on today. So I want y'all to know about that information. I will, like I said, be posting things. I have books, DVDs. There's still some more research I want to do before I put out information like that, because I want to give y'all valid things to follow up on and things to go on, information that you really need, news you can use, right? One thing that I did notice about this too, there was a display of how many people have really been affected by mistreatment or misdiagnosis of mental illness. And a lot of them are celebrities. I mean, I'm going to name a couple of people that I did see on the screen. There were Robin Williams, Ozzy Osbourne. There was like, what's her name there? I mean, it was so many. Marilyn Monroe, one of my favorites. It was so many. I really don't want to name them all. I'm gonna show you guys what's going on, but that it just kind of destroyed some lives. And overall, what it showed was that in the end, we all face a penalty of losing these great people because they were, like I said, misdiagnosed or mistreated. So yeah, but it wasn't all bad. I learned a lot. I met some great people. I met a young lady named Kara. Like I told her, she's like a kindred spirit and doesn't even know it. Miss Kara, if you get to see this, tap in. I'm so glad to have met you. Thank you for introducing me to so many great people. Mr. Matt Hines, I look forward to working with you soon. A lot of things going on in Atlanta, raising awareness for awareness. I'm really excited about this stuff. Like I said, this is bad to business. There are some struggles and some challenges that people have to go through. I understand that um, raising awareness for awareness is not always easy, but there are some great people that are put in place to really help the cause. So I'm looking forward to that. I met Miss Liz from Ohio. Know that you're doing your great things out there for the cause. So I can't wait to link up with you when we come to Ohio. Um, and Miss Sonia, Miss Queen Bee from New York, who organized everything and keeps this stuff going. Where there is about mental awareness, you are there. And you keep stuff going. From what I understand, she's been doing this now for about 40 years. So I'm really excited to work with you, see what I can do for you on this side of the town, this region, and see how we can bring some bad to business, as I said. So I thank God for really introducing me to these people and opening my eyes to certain things that I didn't know. It's always some news that I like to use. And I met these people on my way out. Like, it was so hot. We were on our way out. Kara pulled me in, and I'm like, I really don't feel like it. But sometimes there's a tugging on your heart that you got to listen to. So I did, met some great people, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Okay. Next topic of discussion. So, speaking of some great people, shout out to my newfound friend, supporter, and motivationalist, Cage Phoenix. I will be tapping in with you. I got some information on her. She's a new name to me. I don't know if any of you know her, but I really enjoyed meeting with this young lady, this young woman. She just really, I call her a motivationalist, and I looked at some of her work. I was introduced to her by somebody else, by a mutual friend. I'll get into that walk, that journey, that testimony as things progress on, because that's something that I'd like to share with y'all about how good God is and how He stays working behind the scenes and we don't even know. But I stumbled upon her work. I met her through a mutual friend, and as I looked into her work, I saw that a lot of her posts and a lot of her work had been from a while ago. But it was right on time for me, you know. As I met with her and had a different conversation with her, I realized that, or she told me that a lot of her work that she put out, she kind of put a halt to it. She disconnected for good reason. She had reasons to kind of research and do the things internally, solely, mentally, that she had to do. And it was, even that was refreshing to know that no matter how great things are going, sometimes you have to pull back. But what we talked about was that she was able to disconnect, or put a lot out at that time and disconnect. But the stuff that she put out a couple of years ago really hit me hard right now. And I was telling her that whatever you were feeling a couple of years ago may have been meant for someone like me, and a breakthrough that I needed right now. So her getting back into her work now, I said, please continue your work now, because now whatever you're doing now could be somebody's breakthrough 2 years from now. So let that be a little bit of inspiration to some of y'all too. Don't stop what you're doing now. Whatever may seem like it's not working out for you right now, doesn't seem like doors are opening, doesn't seem like whatever works you're doing right now are working. They may not be for right now season, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have purpose. So please keep writing, keep inspiring, keep motivating, keep doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm excited to work with her. She's got some things going on. What was an hour meeting turned into like a 4-hour revelation conversation. We really realized we walked some of the same walks, but it was good and refreshing to hear somebody else from a different POV. Always good to hear somebody step outside of the box, or from outside of the box, and say, yeah, I was once in that box and this is what happened, seek wise counsel. But like I said, from 1 hour to 4 hours turned into a great conversation. Finding out some things about her. She's got some great things coming up. Let's see, what did she tell me about? So she's got a website that I don't want to say too much because I know that she's branching back out and stuff, and I want her to get a chance to do those things. But she's launched this website, a collab website. She's written a book that's already out. She's going to be writing another book. Amazon sales, those things. Again, keep following me. You got to follow me for this young lady. Again, her name is Cage Phoenix. Some of y'all may know her already. If not, look her up before I tell all her stuff. She's also relaunching her magazine, and she's got a lot of things going on with her magazine. And like I said, I'm just excited to be able to work with somebody like this. She kind of gave me, and I want to share something with y'all before I end on her note, some good points for networking. And I could definitely use that. I am somebody who is somewhat of an, let me not put a label on myself. I need some help doing some networking. And she gave some good points. So maybe some of this can help you guys. I'm just going to give you the bullet points. You can follow up with her and follow up on my page, see what's going on, elaborate on these ideas. But number one, go outside. Get outside. There's no way that you can do anything without getting out of your four walls. I mean, we've created ways to do that, but really to be able to network and let somebody feel you outside of just your comfort zone. You got to get out there and get with some people. So go outside. Second is set realistic goals. You already know what that means. And I'm one that if I can see it, I can achieve it. I know that for a fact. If you're one of those people, do it. Like the motivation says and the meme says, do it broke, do it scared, just do it. I still struggle with that, but that's on my list too. Prepare and practice. I definitely need to do that. I'm good at preparing. The practice thing, sometimes I feel I can wing it. By the time comes up, it's not really working out. So you want to get your practice in, especially when you're trying to target a certain crowd or you know who you're going to be meeting. One of my mottos is know who you're dealing with so you know how to deal with them. So get that in. Listen and ask questions. Number 4. Do your research. That's really important. And 5, follow up. I know I'm pretty bad at following up. I am a starter, right? Self-starter, big starter, fire starter. But that following up, it gets bad. A lot of people have AI assistants and stuff like that to do that now. I got to learn how to make technology work for me, but that follow-up is very important. I'm getting that. So, as I just seen, like Jazzy says, sometimes you got to take that leap, So, anyway, back to Cage Phoenix. I'm so excited to work with you. I can't wait until we link up, do some wonderful things. Like I said, y'all keep following the page, see what's going on. Moving along. Let's see. What else is at the business table? So we got the psychiatry thing going on. Yes, before I really bring it home, because y'all, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. It is Sunday. I'm so glad I made it to Sunday. With all the things going on in the week, like I said, I went to the art festival. It was wonderful, wonderful. The art festival, it was wonderful. I went to the exhibit. Very knowledgeable. Get myself together. I met some wonderful people. I'm learning that going outside, getting outside, talking to people, doing your research is wonderful for the spirit, as well as, your networking, if that's the type of person and the business that you're trying to do. I met a wonderful person who is, at the least, motivation. like I said. I thanked her for sparking something in me that my family and friends have been trying to push out of me. They know the situation I've been in, kind of feeling my feelings, but this type of person, it's kind of like I told them, it's a professional point of view. It's a professional push where they have been kind of understanding what I've been going through, family and friends. This person is kind of like pushing from a different kind of perspective. So that kind of worked out. And then, y'all, so when I tell you, there was a time to be had. Last night, I got to experience Frank Ski's old school party, right? When I tell y'all, little girl Blue blew her horn last night, okay? There was a time to be had. There was a time to be had, and I had it. Thank you to Frank Ski for throwing something that us older folks can have. It was an all-white event. Well, I'm going to say, I had a little pet peeve because not everybody was dressing all white. Made me feel some type of way. There's some people that were very colorful, very out of dress code. But as me and my beautiful friend and accomplice and partner was saying that, you know what, it doesn't matter how people are out of dress code. We felt good. We looked good. We had a wonderful time. And at first I was a little skeptical. Going to all white events make me a little bit nervous. You know, you don't want nobody to step on your all white Air Forces. In my case, I had on all white Chucks. I didn't want to do that. But the significance in this was that I had to kind of tell myself, so do you not want to wear your shoes because you're afraid of somebody stepping on them? Because I know, we get an attitude, stuff like that. You got to change your mind, right? I said to myself, I don't want to not wear my shoes because I don't ever want anybody to step on them. That's stupid. But then I was like, well, I don't really want to go to an event where it doesn't matter. I took myself through all that of why I didn't want to wear these white shoes. But when I tell you I went to a grown up party and where people respected people's space and we had a good time, if anything, we stayed away from each other's white shoes. We tried to stay away from each other when we had a drink. We had a great time, great music. Thank you again. Shout out to Frank Ski, the whole team. This was a great event. It was great to go to a party where it had grown-ups acting like grown-ups. We did not fear being shot at. We didn't fear anything that put us in any kind of danger. I know we didn't. We had a great time. We said, excuse me. We were polite to each other. We were grown. And it was a fun time. So I just want to, again, say shout out to Frank Ski. It was a time. A time was had, and I cannot wait for other things like that. I'm just trying to give inspiration that there are parties for us, older, grown folks that actually like to go out, not get into any type of controversy. We're not trying to make it big on social media for the wrong reasons, okay? But we had a great time. So that was fun. I'll be posting some clips on my page so y'all can see what type of time y'all missed if you were not there. Shout out to everybody who was there. All white event, old school party, Frank Ski. Again, thank you so much. And I will be, like I said, posting some videos about the time y'all missed because it was great. I'll have to edit it because it's one of them. You should have been there. So I'll give y'all a little piece and snippets of it. But a great time was had. That blue personality will never be the same. And last but not least, I want to leave y'all with a closing message. I had what I call a sit and thought. It's not really a daydream, if you will. It's kind of like when you sit and you think about things, or you're trying to sit and think out things, so you're not really drifting off. You're really kind of contemplating on how to make the next step. Maybe you are meditating. Maybe you're just talking to God. Maybe you're just kind of planning out the next steps mentally. I call those sitting thoughts, not really daydreams. So I was having a sitting thought where I was um, talking to God, and I was praying, and I was walking with him. I was walking with God on water. I did not see him, but I could see his feet. It's kind of at night. We were on a body of water. His feet was illuminated, and I was walking with him with my left hand, holding him with my left hand, and we were walking, and I was just amazed at how I was taking this walk with God on water. And all of a sudden, I started seeing sharks swimming around, and it didn't really bother me. I think at first I was kind of thinking, why are there sharks around while I'm walking with God? But they were circling, they were swimming. All of a sudden, they started doing the little dolphin tricks, swimming back and forth. I was just kind of walking, like, holding God's hand, like, what are they doing here? I'm walking with God. So we're walking. And like I said, I could see them swimming and jumping in front of us. I could hear them behind us jumping. And all of a sudden, one of the sharks jumped up and it nicked me on the back of my right calf. And I looked down and I saw the nick. And the first thought that came to mind was, what are you doing? Like, how were you able to do that? I'm still holding on to God's hand. And the first thought that came to mind was, how was the shark able to nick me while I'm walking with God? I was a little perturbed, to say the least. So as I was walking, we're still walking, and I'm still kind of thinking, how did this happen? How was this shark able to even touch me while I'm walking with God? And then the scripture hit me that God said that even though weapons may form, they will not prosper. And I was discussing this with my cousin, and the irony she pointed out a piece of the irony in this revelation. She said, you didn't say it hurt. You didn't say it bled. You just say you recognize that it nicked you. And as I was talking to her about it, I realized that no, it didn't hurt. It didn't bleed. I did see the mark, but it did not hurt. It did not bleed. It did not stop my walk. I was just more surprised that I was even able to be touched while walking with God. And again, the word came back to me. Weapons may form, but they won't prosper. It didn't stop anything. And I'm continuing to learn in life that weapons may form, but as long as they don't prosper, you keep going. You don't let that stop you. You don't let that hinder you. One thing that my brother taught in a session of Bible study was, you don't let your feelings get in the way of your purpose. I didn't feel anything. And talking with my friend, we talked a little bit deeper about that and discovered that there was no feeling. There was no fear. I just stayed focused. And as long as I stayed focused on my walk with God, I did not fear the sharks. I did not feel what they attempted. And even if he could nick me at that point, then at some point he could have taken me out, I assume. But no, he could not. The weapons may form, but they're not going to prosper. So I wanted to kind of leave y'all with that. I hope y'all have a great week. But before I go, I want to remind y'all of something. We have some voting going on. I want y'all to go vote now. Please tap into the Kia Awards. The Kingdom Image Awards. The Crew Podcast has been nominated for the Media Outlet of the Year award. Please get on to KIARTS.live/voting. Please tap in, click in, vote for us, the Crew Podcast. We're trying to get out there. We have been doing all we can to provide y'all with news you can use, news that keeps you entertained. We're trying to keep things going. One thing we don't want any of the entities to shut down is our media outlets. So really, just vote. get on there. But I would love for you to get on there, vote for your girl, vote for the team, the Crew Podcast. Again, that is KIARTS.live/voting. Get on there and vote for the Crew Podcast for Media Outlet of the Year. Okay, that's all I got for you on Bad to Business. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I hope I gave y'all something that y'all can take with y'all this week. So stay tuned. Like I said, I'll be following up for more information about the stuff that I experienced this weekend. The psychiatry information, some things you might want to find out about, some over-the-counter things that you want to stay away from, not just the stuff that they're making mainstream, but get to reading what your medication is and what it will do and how it does affect you. Also, like I said, shout out to Cage Phoenix. I can't wait to work with you. All the people that helped me this weekend getting everything together, thank you so much. And yeah, y'all tune in next time. Love y'all.